Hi, friends. I'm Jim Rapsas. I'm the creator of Strange Days at Blake Holsey High. And on this edition of Holsey Howler, we're going to take a look at the season 1 episode Fate. I got a lot of questions about the show. I love answering questions about the show. And one question I probably get more than any other is about Fate and how there are events in Fate that seem to be contradicted by things that happen later in the series and things we learn about Sarah Pearson. So that's the Fate Conundrum. That's what we're going to talk about today. And it's a good time to talk about it because the new episode of Echoes, episode 4, introduces the multiverse into the storyline for the first time. And understanding Fate is all about getting on board with the multiverse and the idea of multiple universes and multiple timelines. So let's go back to Fate and remember the events that happened there. In Fate, Josie and Vaughn travel back to the year 1977, and Vaughn seemingly interferes with his parents, Victor and Sarah, meeting by taking a hair clip that belongs to Sarah, and it seems Victor is supposed to find and return to her. Instead, Vaughn picks up the hair clip, stashes it in Josie's backpack, and when they return to the present, Vaughn doesn't exist. Victor is a teacher at Blake Holsey High. Professor Z is working at a burger joint. So Josie finds a radically different present. What she learns by finding the hair clip, or what she deduces, is that by taking the hair clip, Vaughn prevented his parents from meeting. She also hears an ominous warning from the janitor to put it back where it belongs, something along those lines. So Josie goes back in time, puts the hair clip in 1977 so that Victor can find it, give it to Sarah. She goes back, everything is back the way it's supposed to be. Later in the series, we find out that Victor and Sarah did not meet because of the hair clip at all, because Sarah is an observer from the future. She was sent back in time to make sure that Victor responsibly used the power of the chi ball to create time travel, because ultimately Victor's and Sarah's responsible handling of time travel is what's key to saving the universe and stopping Avenir from destroying it. So the question, the conundrum is, how can these two events live side by side and be true? Again, this is all about getting on board with the idea of a multiverse and multiple timelines. You learn a couple other things later in the series. Professor Z tells a theory that he has to Lucas and to Josie's clone that each time one of them traveled through a wormhole, they created a new universe, and Josie's clone seems to agree with that, say that that's true. We also learn from Avenir in his conversations with Josie that he has gone from one timeline to the next, that they have had this conversation over and over again, that he has worked endlessly to achieve a certain result that will allow him to master time travel. So between these two bits of information, we can deduce that there are many timelines at work in the series, not just the one timeline that you see. And that when they travel back and forth, they're not necessarily traveling back into a linear timeline. They are often jumping from one timeline to the next, or actually creating new timelines and new universes as they go. So getting back now to Fate and the events of that episode, let's think about what happened. The first time Josie went back, Vaughn put the hair clip in, and she left, and of course everything went haywire. What else happened there? Josie left before Victor had a chance to steal the chi ball from her. So there is no way that timeline can play out the way it should. Let's think about what would have happened to Sarah Pearson at that point. If she was sent as an observer to that timeline to make sure Victor responsibly uses the chi ball. She knows Josie is coming. Josie comes, but then Josie leaves and Victor doesn't get the ball. I would imagine at that point, Sarah is probably called back to the future and then sent to another timeline where Victor actually successfully gets the ball. The other thing that happens when Josie is in the alternate present is the janitor gives her this warning. Put it back where it belongs. Yes, he's ostensibly talking about the hair clip, but what else is the janitor doing? He's instructing her to go back to 1977. Why? Not necessarily because of the hair clip, but because she has to give Victor another chance to steal the chi ball from her. And when Josie goes back, that's exactly what happens. While Josie is placing the hair clip for Victor to find, Victor goes into her backpack, steals the chi ball, so that when Josie returns to the future, Vaughn is with her and everything is back the way it's supposed to be, at least in this timeline. And we find out at the end of the episode, Victor has the chi ball. It is his treasured possession, and then we later find out the power source that makes time travel possible. So that is the explanation of the Fate Conundrum. Hopefully that all makes sense to you all. If you still have any more questions, please ask in the comments. That's it for this episode. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll be back with another one soon. Take care, guys.